We had a baby boy 9 months ago, so I suppose some sense of, a newborn during lockdown. So he got his 4 months injections before lockdown and 6 months injections during it. I hope by the time he gets his 12-month injections that the world will be a different place, a better place, though it's hard not to feel that we will face a challenging time then too. During that time, there's been good and bad elements to having a newborn in the time of COVID. 2 of us working from home most of the time, arranging meetings, trying to avoid each other or avoid a clash of Zoom meetings and things like that, along with a school-aged child and a newborn baby was no joke. But there were upsides too, there's no doubt about it. I got a lot more time with them than I would have other than the situation. But there's no doubt, and I've had many contact from parents, particularly mothers, in relation to this motion. The challenge facing many mothers in this time have been enormous. They say it takes a village to raise a child. Well, for the many of these mothers, they did not have access to that village. Mothers feel they did not truly have maternity leave. No access to support, cut off from parents who may be many miles away for large parts, for months perhaps. Our son didn't see one set of grandparents for several weeks, but another set of grandparents for several months. No family supports, no access to breastfeeding groups, reduced access to public health nurses. Perhaps a partner might have been an essential worker, so the mothers would have felt nearly cut off from the world for a time. And the stress of trying to figure out what comes next. And this is something that's come back in so many of the conversations I've had with people, trying to figure out what comes next. Childcare is so scarce as to it may as well not exist. I also want to take this opportunity to highlight the fact that parents whose maternity leave has elapsed during this crisis have faced incredible challenges. For those who had to return to work, there was no childcare for older children, no schools open, no access to wider support networks. Women who would otherwise have gone back to work could not, and for mothers working from home, there was the juggling of effectively full-time parenting and a job and perhaps homeschooling as well. In many instances, they were relying on the goodwill of employers who would show compassion and understanding how challenging it was, but in many instances, I'm sure that not every employer would have been understanding. So you can multiply that across any number of families. So, Minister, I urge you to back this motion. It is absolutely necessary. Extend maternity leave for those women, but go further than that and ensure that all women and families have access to childcare and support.